Hi, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about how to grow your muscle due to the intermittent fasting, because intermittent fasting also important for the growth of the muscle. So we will discuss the mechanism of the muscle growth during the no eating time. So what should you eat? I will also explain about that. So first of all, we will understand about how it works. So during the intermittent fasting, you are not eating, but you are just drinking water, low calorie, zero caloric things like water. So in this way, basically you are zero caloric time. So in this way, the intermittent fasting basically decrease the spike of the insulin, and in this way, when the insulin when not rise, so the alternative form of the growth hormone, this is the basically is also anabolic, so our body need the anabolism. So in this way, the growth hormone will be produced. That is the requirement of the growth hormone. What is the function of the growth hormone? The growth hormone function is widely, but the function specific regard to the insulin suppression is the growth hormone will target to the liver and muscle for the glycogenesis in the liver. But remember, the uptake of the extra glucose in the blood, even in the fasting time, the glucose level will rise. So the insulin like growth factor 1 will trigger in the muscle and liver, mostly in the liver. And in this way, the insulin like growth factor 1 trigger due to the growth hormone production, and that growth hormone spike due to the intermittent fasting. So the intermittent fasting which that trigger the growth hormone, and the growth hormone trigger the insulin like growth factor 1, which that will lead to glycogenesis in the muscle, will lead to also growth hormone required for the myogenesis, the myoglobin formation, and the myofiber will be expand, and number of the myofiber will be increased. Why? Because the growth hormone required, that is growth hormone will lead to angiogenesis near the muscle where the muscle injury. On the other hand, the increase of the muscle fiber is very important for the increase of the muscle size overall. On the other hand, the insulin like growth factor 1 also target to the bone to osteogenesis, and the osteoporosis will be inhibit. In this way, you will develop the bone and growth of the muscle and the normal level of the glucose due to the suppression of insulin, and the metabolism of the glucose will work still due to the insulin like growth factor 1. That will trigger the growth hormone. Growth hormone trigger the insulin like growth factor 1. In this way, the growth hormone also important for the fat loss. So in this way, whenever the growth hormone will produce more, it will target to the adipose tissue made up of adipocyte, and in this way, the adipocyte basically will contain a triacylglycerol, will ultimately break down through a hormone sensitive lipase enzyme, which that trigger due to the growth hormone. And the growth hormone is the basically lipophobic, and in this way require the receptor on the adipocyte, and in this way bind with the adipocyte will lead to trigger the lipolysis. In this way, the lipolysis basically is important, will lead to increase the glycerol and free fatty acid, and that free fatty acid and glycerol will arise the low density lipoprotein in your blood. But it is not any problem, because the low density lipoprotein will go into your you can see into your liver, and this lipoprotein even will break down, and on the other hand will produce the high density lipoprotein. On the other hand, free fatty acid and glycerol, even the triacylglycerol will convert into the cholesterol, and that process will trigger due to the HMG-CoA enzyme, and in this the HMG-CoA enzyme inhibitor is the statin. So the statin is basically inhibit the cholesterol synthesis. But anyhow, the cholesterol synthesis will trigger due to the lipolysis, and the lipolysis due to the growth hormone. It means the growth hormone is very important during the fasting, so the fasting will trigger the growth hormone. And in this way, the growth hormone will also trigger the lipolysis, will lead to go into the into the liver, and liver produce the cholesterol, and the synthesis of the cholesterol from the free fatty acid, even triacylglycerol. And in this way, that liver will produce the cholesterol. But remember, that is the extra cholesterol requirement is not possible. So how to excrete the bile acid and the bile pigment in the form of the bile acid and bile pigment? The gallbladder will excrete the extra cholesterol, but reuptake the 90% cholesterol. But anyhow, it will excrete, and that basically, if not required, so it will excrete as a defecation. But anyhow, in this way, the intermittent fasting will rise the low density lipoprotein, but not any problem, because if you are thinking about that, so not any problem. And this is the initial stages. We are not understanding about the ketogenesis and the keto adaptation. We will discuss in the next video part for muscle adaptation and muscle growth. But in this video, we are just understanding about the cholesterol synthesis, and that cholesterol synthesis from the growth hormone and lipolysis will increase. In this way, the lipolysis will increase, but the myogenesis will increase, like myolysis, or you can say the rhabdomyolysis, the breakdown of the muscle will be decreased. In this way, the growth of the muscle will increase, and that is why the growth hormone will require the whole mechanism to grow muscle. But one important more thing is that the cholesterol will produce, okay, from the liver. What is the function of cholesterol? Cholesterol is used for the fluidity of your extracellular and intracellular maintenance. On the other hand, it is important for the plasma membrane. But the cholesterol is also important, will go into the ovary for female, but we are just understanding for the male. If so, in this way, it will go into the testes, and this cholesterol will be used through our luteinizing hormone, will stimulate the Leydig cell to uptake a cholesterol, and that cholesterol convert from the Leydig cell due to the luteinizing hormone stimulation will lead to increase the testosterone, and that convert into the alpha dihydrotestosterone reductase enzyme, alpha dihydroreductase enzyme, which that will convert this testosterone into the dihydrotestosterone, which that is important for your muscle growth, your voice changes, and your beard and your hair. In this way, you will look more masculine. If you are thinking about that, if you are thinking about for the female, in this way, basically, for female, let's understand about that. For female, the gonads is a ovary. So the gonads are ovary, two ovaries, and in this, the luteinizing hormone will target to the corpus luteum to produce more estrogen, and that is mechanism come from the cholesterol. So the cholesterol also synthesis the estrogen, and that estrogen for female health enhancement, and in this way the female also get the benefit. But the lipolysis is important and triggered due to the growth hormone, and that will lead to basically grow your muscle, because the growth hormone will lead to decrease the fat, even grow the muscle. So the lipolysis and the myogenesis will trigger. So the muscle is made up of myofibril, and that myofibril, number of myofibril will increase. Anyhow, this is the reason how to grow your muscle due to the intermittent fasting. So that is the clear concept about how you can grow yourself. So go ahead and grow your muscle more and more. So if you want to get help from my side, so you can comment below. I will give the feedback. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. For this one, bye. I am also making the handwritten tutorial about the biomedical science. You can learn a lot of knowledge, even knowledge about the myogenesis and the muscle fiber, the anatomy of the muscle. You should need to understand, because if you want to get the more health benefit and more growth of the muscle, you require a knowledge, and the knowledge is very powerful tool for change your life. I hope you make sense about that. See you in the next video. For this time, bye. Allah Hafiz.